Imagine you wake up on a Monday morning and the bank holding your life savings simply doesn't exist anymore. Not frozen, not struggling, gone. That's what happened to 158 years of history in a single weekend. Just 3 days, September 12th to the 15th, 2008. A bank that survived the Civil War, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, collapsed in 72 hours. And the people who could have stopped it, they chose not to. This is the story of Lehman Brothers, the largest bankruptcy in American history, $613 billion in debt, and how one weekend almost took the entire world down with it. Lehman Brothers didn't start on Wall Street. It started in a dry goods store in Montgomery, Alabama, 1850. 3 brothers, Henry, Emmanuel, and Mayer Lehman, German Jewish immigrants selling fabric and farming supplies. Then cotton became king in the South, and the Lehmans didn't just sell to cotton farmers. They started accepting cotton as payment. That one decision turned a dry goods store into a commodities trading firm. By the time they moved to New York, Lehman Brothers wasn't selling fabric anymore. They were selling money. Fast forward 150 years. Lehman survives the Civil War, survives railroad crashes, survives the Great Depression when nearly half of America's banks collapsed. By 2007, Lehman is the 4th largest investment bank in America, 25,000 employees, offices in 30 countries. Its CEO, Dick Fold, had run the company for 14 years. They called him the Gorilla. He was aggressive, combative, and supremely confident because Lehman had found a new cotton. It was called the mortgage. Here's the simple version of what happened. Banks were giving out home loans to almost anyone who asked. Didn't matter if you had a steady job. Didn't matter if you could actually pay it back. These became known as subprime mortgages. Subprime simply means below investment grade, a nice way of saying high risk of default. Now here's where it gets dangerous. Banks like Lehman took thousands of these risky home loans and bundled them together into something called a mortgage-backed security. Think of it like this. If one person defaults on their loan, that's a small problem. But if you package 1,000 risky loans together and sell slices of that package to investors worldwide, you've just turned one bad loan into a problem for the entire planet. And Lehman didn't just sell these packages. They held enormous amounts on their own books. By 2007, Lehman had roughly $680 billion in assets, built on a foundation of $31 in debt for every $1 of actual capital. That's not a business. That's a house of cards standing in a hurricane. And in 2007, the hurricane arrived. Home prices, which everyone assumed would always go up, started to fall. People stopped paying their mortgages. The safe bundled securities weren't safe at all. They were worthless. Throughout 2008, the warning signs kept coming. In March, Bear Stearns, another major investment bank, nearly collapsed. The government stepped in and arranged for JP Morgan Chase to buy it for pennies on the dollar. Wall Street breathed a sigh of relief. Someone got saved. But Lehman kept sinking. Its stock price kept falling. Investors kept asking the same terrified question: what exactly is on Lehman's balance sheet? Dick Fold, the gorilla, refused to believe his company could fail. He turned down multiple offers to sell parts of the company. He turned down outside investment. He kept saying Lehman would survive this. By September 2008, Lehman's stock had fallen 94% from its high. Executives raced to find a buyer. Bank of America looked at the books and walked away. Barclays, a British bank, seemed interested, but needed government backing to guarantee the deal. And here is the moment that changed history. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson and the Federal Reserve had to make a decision over one single weekend. bail Lehman out like they quietly helped with Bear Stearns, or let it fall. September 12, 2008, a Friday, Paulson calls the heads of every major bank into an emergency meeting at the Federal Reserve Building in New York. The message is blunt. There will be no government bailout for Lehman. You, the banks, need to find a private solution tonight. For the next 2 days, bankers and lawyers work around the clock. Barclays remains the best hope, but Sunday afternoon, British regulators refuse to approve the deal without U.S. government guarantees. Paulson says no. Without a buyer, without government support, Lehman has one option left. At 1:17 a.m. on Monday, September 15th, Lehman Brothers files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. $613 billion in debt, the largest bankruptcy in American history. By sunrise, employees are walking out of the Lehman headquarters in Manhattan, carrying cardboard boxes. Cameras catch every step. It becomes the image of the crisis. Here's what most people don't understand. Letting Lehman fail wasn't the end of the crisis. It was the detonator. Because Lehman was connected to everything. Other banks, insurance companies, money market funds that ordinary Americans kept their savings in. Within one day, a massive money market fund called the Reserve Primary Fund, which people believed was as safe as a savings account, broke the buck, meaning it could no longer guarantee investors would get back every dollar they put in. Panic spread like wildfire. Credit markets, the systems banks use to lend money to each other every day, froze completely. Companies couldn't get short-term loans to make payroll. Stock markets around the world went into free fall. Just one day after Lehman collapsed, the US government reversed course entirely and bailed out insurance giant AIG with $85 billion because AIG's collapse would have been catastrophically worse. The lesson had been learned, the hard way. Congress would go on to pass a $700 billion rescue package called TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program, to stop the bleeding. The Great Recession that followed wiped out 8 million American jobs, trillions in home equity, trillions more in retirement savings. All because one weekend, one decision, let one falling domino take down the ones standing next to it. Dick Fold never faced criminal charges. He walked away having earned roughly $480 million over his final 8 years running the company. The bank he built into a global empire ceased to exist in a single signature at 1 in the morning. Here's the question Lehman leaves behind. Every fortune believes it is too big to fail, too old, too respected, too essential to the system around it. But size was never the thing protecting Lehman. It was leverage. It was belief. It was $31 of debt standing on $1 of truth. And when the world finally asked Lehman to prove what it was really worth, there was nothing there to show them. Every fortune has a funeral. This one nearly took the entire world to its grave with it.